So this week, based on all of the headlines in the corporate media, right, you would assume it's been a really, really bad week for President Biden. Yeah, I mean, George Clooney comes out with his op-ed in the New York Times, Biden, you got to drop out. You've got Rob Reiner echoing that, these hardcore Democratic funders, donors, supporters saying, Biden, you've got to go. And then towards the end of the week, something very interesting happened. New polls came out. And based on what these new polls are showing us, even though the media is still relentlessly talking about President Biden's debate performance, the public is already over it. Because those massive polling leads that Donald Trump received immediately following the presidential debate are evaporating. Evaporating to the point where President Biden has now sprung ahead of Donald Trump in some of those swing states where just a week ago Biden was getting crushed. So here's what's happening in three in particular. First of all, in Georgia, Biden's share of the vote has increased by 1%. He still trails Donald Trump by 3.5%, but he's regained 1%. That's a big jump in a state that has been red for decades, with the exception of the 2020 election, which was a bit of a fluke. However, he's gaining ground in a red state of all places. In Michigan, his share of the vote has increased by 0.8%, which actually puts him ahead of Donald Trump in the state of Michigan. So he retakes that swing state, if even by a small margin. In North Carolina, his share of the vote has increased another 0.8%, even though Trump still leads him by 4%. But North Carolina, aside from voting for Barack Obama in 2008, has still voted for Republicans in the last 10 out of 11 elections. So North Carolina is a red state. I know we like to think, it's purple because Obama won it 1 year. Okay, but, the 44 years before that, no Democrat won it. And no Democrat, including Obama in 2012, has won it since. So it's a red state. And so is Georgia. And even with Biden's very bad debate performance, because even if you're not calling for him to drop out, you would still admit it was a bad performance, he's rebounding. I'm shocked. I did not see that coming, right? I pay very close attention to the polls because I have to. And to see the public understanding like, okay, I get it, right? This guy's not what he was 4 years ago. He sure as hell isn't what he was 10 years ago. But at the same time, the guy on the other side is so damn terrifying, such a big threat to the future, to the stability of this country, that I can't support him. So I don't know if this support that Biden is seeing increase is due to the fact that people say, you know what, I like his policy. I think I can go with this guy. I think it actually has more to do with them realizing the dangers of Donald Trump, right? They were shocked at the debate. I was shocked. I think everybody was shocked at Biden's performance. Okay, we were not expecting that at all. So it took us by surprise and caused a lot of people out there in middle America to be like, well, whoa, I don't know if I can support that guy. But as the shock wears off, as Trump reemerges as the horrible figure that he is, and Project 2025 gets all this attention, people are starting to come back around and realize, okay, even if there is a problem with Biden and something happens to him, then we got Harris. Harris is still a good person. She's a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump, that's for sure. And that's what's going through these voters' minds. So the doom and gloom, the whole, oh my God, we're going to get clobbered, it might be dissipating with the public. Now, I've maintained even since the debate, even though I would like somebody else to be at the top of the ticket, I'm still voting for Biden. 100% without hesitation, I'm voting for President Biden. So I think a lot of people are coming around to that thought now. And hopefully, as time ticks on even more, we will see more and more people come to that realization. We will see more people, we will see the polls, I guess, shifting even more. But right now, Trump couldn't even ride this for 2 weeks before the voters said, yeah, maybe there's something wrong, but there's more wrong with you, and we don't like it. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.